I'm going to start with that crybaby John Boehner. Oh, man, he's so scared to go to that healthcare summit. I mean, he's going to try to find 800 different ways to get out of it. Now, they're not going to let him out because now even Bill Kristol and Karl Rove were saying they should go, otherwise they're going to look scared. But look at him trying to squirm out of it.
25th, do you intend to go to this bipartisan meeting that the president's calling and it's going to have televised at the White House?
Well, listen, I want to have a bipartisan conversation with the president
Sure you do.
about how to fix our health care system.
Obviously.
But Eric Cantor and I sent a letter to Rahm Emanuel posing a series of questions about really what is this? You know, the White House let us know about an hour before the American people saw this in his interview on Sunday afternoon.
So it's a stunt?
Well, I don't know. That's what we're trying to get to the bottom of.
What would it take for you to go to that February 25th?
I want to have this bipartisan conversation.
Oh, of course.
But I want it to be productive, and I want it to be real. I don't want to walk into some trap. I don't want to walk into some political event. I want to walk in and have a real conversation about what we can do to make our current system work better.
Okay, so if the president says, we're starting with this bill, I'm the president, I get to make those decisions, it's my meeting, but we're starting with the bill, we're not going to scrap it, are you going to go?
Well, we'll see. We'd like to go. We'd like to have this conversation. But I want to do everything I can to make it as productive as possible.
What do you make of the fact that it's televised? American people are probably delighted that we're getting this televised.
I think that's fine, but, you know, is this a political event, or is this going to be a real conversation?
Well, except that we've been hammering them about the transparency. The president said, you know, he's going to put everything on C-SPAN, so we can't criticize him now for when he finally does put it on C-SPAN.
But I want to make sure that we're going to have an honest conversation, you know, an honest bipartisan conversation about how we can approach this. I don't want to walk into some setup. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know how big the room's going to be. I don't know what the setup's going to be. And so, on behalf of the American people, we've asked the White House, just scrap this bill. Let's start over. I think that's where most Americans are on this bill. And I just want to continue to push the White House to do this. Let's listen to the American people.
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, how scared was he? I mean, he's like sweat's dripping off him, right? And he's like, Mister, I'm going to come to get you. I just don't know how the setup is for the gunfight. I don't know where, you know, when are you going to draw and what kind of pistol are you going to bring? Please don't stop slapping me. Okay. Man, I don't want to walk into a trap. I just want it to be productive. Why don't we just scrap this whole thing? Why don't you just agree to everything I say and concede and get rid of your whole bill and do my bill instead, which does nothing? Yeah, I don't think that's how it's going to go, John. Now, John, you're going to man up and you're going to come and debate the president or talk to the president, or you're going to be, you know, scared about it. I'm being polite here, right? Be like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, Greta. I'm so scared. Well, go in there and find out. You a man or you're not a man? What you gonna do? Watch, he continues. This is great stuff, man. Clip number 3.
Well, let's play it out, though. He says he's not going to. He says he's not going to scrap it. He says it's his meeting. It's going to be televised, and so the Republican leadership needs to make a decision. Do we go or do we not go? Do we go hoping that he's going to scrap it and start over, that we can convince him? If we don't go, he's going to have cameras there, and he's going to be sitting there with among all the Democrats and say, we're the Republicans. Those obstructionists.
It's the President of the United States. You know, when he offers an invitation to go to the White House, you know, naturally you want to go. I'm just trying to make sure that this is as productive and honest a conversation as possible.
So what are you going to do that? Because we know what he's got in mind.
Find out what the starting point is.
He said the starting point is with the existing bills.
We asked the question: are Democrats who opposed this health care bill, are they going to be invited?
Yeah.
Are the lobbyists who were involved in putting it together, are they going to be there?
Why, you want your buddies
there
there?
are a number of questions that I'd like to have answered before I give you or the president a straight up or down answer.
I have no idea how many people are invited to this.
I have no idea.
No idea.
No.
So they just call up. You just heard about this an hour before it was going to that the president announced that you've been invited.
Yes, and then shortly thereafter they announced it was all going to be on TV. So I just want to know what I'm getting into before I get there.
Well, here's what's going to happen when you get there. You're going to get your ass kicked, okay? Because you're so full of crap. Because you know that you have no intention of reaching out. You have no intention of being bipartisan. You have no intention of giving him a single vote. You have no intention of doing health care reform. When you were the majority leader, you didn't do health care reform. When your party was the majority in the House and in the Senate, and Bush was the president, you never did it. You never even came close. The CBO rated their proposal because they came up with a proposal. Do you know that at the end of the decade, according to the Republican proposal, they would have 10 million people less insured? Do you understand that? You know, we have all these people that are uninsured. You have 10 million people, I should say, maybe a better way of saying it is 10 million people more that would be uninsured. That's the Republican proposal. He's like, well, what do we need to insure those guys for? We don't make any money from them. And I love the way he's like, are the lobbyists coming? Because if the lobbyists are coming, I'm going. Okay, but if they're not there, I don't know why I'm walking into this trap.